G'day guys, welcome to this tutorial on the brand new SSG 7478 V2. First thoughts of the aircraft looks pretty similar to V1, except for, you know, the SSG livery. Pretty much, yeah, it looks pretty much like the first one. They say that they have made a lot of changes. Now, I am not so sure personally, but that's just my personal opinion, okay? So, obviously you've got a lot more detail. You've got the engine exhaust pipe there. You've got a few more holes here, I guess. A few more bells and whistles. I think that was there on the first one though. I know that the doors do open, so we'll get to that in a moment. Just having a quick look at the engines. I think the engines are a little bit more better modelled, like a bit more well modelled than the first model. And as for the landing gear, they said they got a lot more, you know, a new landing gear and all that. Now, I think it's a little bit more, you know, more detailed, but I'm not sure about different. So yeah. So I'm not really 100% tuned in on this one just yet. The key feature, though, that we were advised that we were going to see was cut windows in the passenger cabins. Okay, now this is not the cargo variant, this is supposed to be the passenger variant. Okay, if I go over here and I zoom in on the windows, they're textures. They are not cut windows. You go onto a bit of an angle and you have a look like so. It looks like they're cut, but then again, they look like textures made to look like that. They're not actually cut. Front part of the passenger cabin though, because you can't see in the back of that, you can't see from one side to the other through the aircraft, so that leads me to believe that it's just textures. Now, my next part here, same with the lower front cabin, it's just textures, they're not cut windows. Above, they are cut windows. So, I want to know what's going on here from SSG, because have they released, I don't know, something that they shouldn't have released? I don't know. I'm thinking maybe it was just a, you know, because you can see from one side of the cabin to the other, so, you know, we do have visual windows there. First thoughts, I'm really not impressed, to be honest. But we're going to jump into the cabin, and we're going to have a bit of a look. Okay. Now, as soon as I jumped into here, I was not impressed. Not in the least bit. It looks standard. It looks the same as V1. The only thing that looks like it could have changed was the textures, maybe a little bit more high def. Apart from that, everything looks like it was. I am going to just quickly, just for the purposes of this tutorial, we're not going to, you know, and first look obviously for this review, I'm not going to do the whole full cold dark start. I just want to get some battery power on now. I want you guys to make your decision when you see what happens with this, but my first decision was, hang on a minute, when I turned the battery master on, I wasn't convinced that this was done properly. So I'm going to go ahead and click the battery master. And all these switches here, they all come on, and none of these should be on when the aircraft is in cold dark state. Like, literally, nothing, nothing should be on here. Utilities should be off. Elects, all that, they should all be off. Standby power, I'm going to put that onto auto. Start the APU up. All these switches, though, they should all be off. All of these should be off. I just don't understand what's gone wrong here with SSG. I think personally the aircraft has been released way too early, because none of this should be on. It just should be your battery and that's it. So, you guys asked for a review, and this is my personal opinion. I believe I wasted 65 Australian dollars. Quickly go down to the FMC. I'm not going to spend too much time on this review because I'm done. I'm going back to the Magnite 787. But the RTE page, just type in Melbourne. The FMC is still slow like version 1. Just for purposes of this tutorial, we're going to go Melbourne to Melbourne, so just do a circuit. Runway 34, just for argument's sake. Flight number Qantas 1. Activate that. Now, our departures page. Runway 34, and I'm not liking it straight away because there is no SIDS and stars. Absolutely disgusting. This is my down-to-earth opinion. I'm going to delete it off my system. Most likely. This is, yeah. Not at all. Not at all. I'm just not. No. Totally not impressed at all. That is the routes page, perf initial, i.e. you can bring all your, you got your perf initial page, you got your thrust limits, all of that, takeoff, flaps V1, blah blah blah. Initial reference there. So the zero fuel weight, for an example, 354.0. You can't even type anything into here. Like, I tried, for an example, so just go to edit our weight just for now, without any payload, without any fuel, and without any payload and out any fuel, our empty weight is 470,000 pounds. So I'm going to go 470,000. You can't type that in there. 470. Can't type that in there. No, you can't even. This is what happened on version 1. You can't do anything. Your cost index 45. Reserves 15. Cruising altitude, just for example, so 5,000. Thrust limits there. Okay, so we'll do flaps 5. Hang on. Flaps 20. V speeds come up, so that's okay. But I am definitely not liking the whole no SIDS and stars issue there. It's not even, I mean, default does a better, you know, the default FMC does SIDS and stars. So, I don't know what's going on here. That's pretty much that. I'm gonna leave that there for now. Put some switches on. Because evidently, I need the APU and whatnot on to be able to turn some lights on and all that. So when the APU comes on, that will be all good. So high flow, put those on. Trim air. Turn them back on. Give us some pumps, window heat. I'm really not liking this, not one bit. Like, I just, you know, we got the APU gas there, which is okay, so that's at least, they've actually modelled that. So that's at least something. Panel lights. The panel light switch works. Map light switch works. And the inbound switch works. Okay. Don't know what that one does, but it's got no functionality at all. I have been around here, and none of these switches actually work. They're just there for show, I think. And same with the ones on the other side over there. They're all just there for show. So pretty much that's that. You've got to run your mouse wheel to turn on the landing lights. Usually it's just click, but it's not working even with clicking. So I'm just going to run the mouse wheel and get that one done and out of the way. They said a lot more stuff was, you know, modelled. Okay, that's the your fire switch, that the test warning, that works. Service entry. Alright, fuel main 1 to 4 on. The ram air turbine, so the rat, it does not work as far as I'm aware. Right, so the rat doesn't come down at all, which I'm very disappointed about. So the rat can be turned off. That cover does come off. So that's okay. Personally, my decision on this plane, I think the default one does better. So that's, you know, I don't think I'll be flying a 748 very anytime soon. So we're not going to reset the packs. Okay, let's turn off some. Now the N2 percentage just goes to 3, 4, 5, 6, and you can start the engines now. There's nothing realistic about this engine startup. Not at all. Like, there is nothing realistic about this engine startup at all. It's, you know, far from, in my opinion, payware level. And, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it's just, just one of those things, I guess, that we live and learn. Because I said it was going to start up, they won't do it. So because I said that, the plane's going to be an irritable annoyance. So we'll turn that on. That's why. Okay, so there we go. We'll just turn off the packs. Now, engine 1. I don't think there's anything, as I said, really that realistic about the engine startup process here. Now, from memory, I didn't have trouble with the engines at all first time round, so, but now it's going to be an absolute pain, and it's going to try and make an idiot of me. So I am really not impressed. Not at all. Now, as far as functionality in the cockpit goes, all this doesn't work. Very few switches. You can't even, as far as I'm aware, no, you can change your Q and H in inches, but there is no way to change it to hectopascals, as far as I am aware. It says inches, but it doesn't do anything as far as hectopascals go. You can put all those on. The flight directors do work, but that's about it. Now, I wonder if the park brake works, actually. Oh, it does, actually. Amazing. It doesn't make a noise, but there's actually no clicky noise thing there for the park brake, but that's another issue. I'm going to quickly go and show you the first class cabin. The first class cabin, in my opinion, look, it's okay quality. I'll pay that part. It actually looks better than the cockpit. Anything's got to look better than the cockpit right now, because that's, these guys, they were telling us it was going to be a U-Butte model and all that, and everyone was looking forward to it, and now we're all suffering. So this is my review, guys. I'm being bluntly honest. We do have cut windows, so that's okay in the top passenger cabin in the first class section, but in the lower cabin you do not. So quickly jump back into the cockpit here. Go over to this little thing they call a tablet here, which is, obviously taken over from the EFB that was here. All the doors, I must say, they do open. Some of them are magic, which don't have hinges. So quickly jump out and have a look at those so you can see the doors that open. Yep, no worries. And a lot of them are actually magic doors, because they don't have hinges, which is pretty poor, I thought. Yep, they don't have hinges. They're actually magic doors. Amazing. Look at that. I like all the doors that open. It looks nice when they open, but, at the end of the day, that's about that. Now, I think this tutorial is just about, well, not tutorial, but I think this review is just about done. As I said, I'm being bluntly honest here, and they really need to lift their game if they're going to stay in the flight sim community, especially X-Plane, because people aren't, going to be happy. But anyway, my review's done. I hope you guys really take care with your decision making. And yeah, end of the day, this is RJ signing off. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm going to leave the reviews in the future to someone like Thomas. And we'll go from there. So, if there was a rating to be given on this one, you're not going to like my rating, because I tell you what, I'm really disgusted, to be honest. But that's just me. Anyway, because I like a high fidelity sim model, so yeah, that's pretty much it. There's so much here that's just not, yeah, it's just not me in a sim. I don't, I like to go for as real as possible, and this is unfortunately far from it. So anyway, I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'm going to shut some of these doors here. Quickly show you this fuel thing. It's very, very basic. The the fuel section, the sound, you can adjust all of that. All of those sliders work there. Options, rain effects. Now they have implemented, I must say, they have implemented the rain effect. So if I go ahead and load that up, for whatever reason that didn't. There we go. Now apparently they were supposed to have, there we go, loaded the library rain plugin into the aircraft. So for whatever reason it looks pretty basic at the moment. So just getting the rain, the precipitation severe. Very limited with the library rain at the moment. There we go. So they have implemented the library rain plugin into the aircraft. It actually looks okay. But as we know, we all like the library rain plugin to be on board the aircraft instead of having to, chuck plugins into the plugin folder, because they do slow down the sim. I'm going to quickly go over here and turn on. So I'm going to pause that for a moment so I can sync the windscreen wipers. And I must say they have done a half decent job with the library rain plugin by implementing that in as standard with the aircraft. But that and the passenger cabin is probably the only good thing the aircraft itself's got going for it. As far as everything else goes, especially the no SIDS and stars option, I can do without it. I'm going back to, as I said, the Magnite 787. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Till then, see you later. Bye for now.